I'm Tom Letson. Where's my, are you my timekeeper so I know okay, good. I know where I'm going to be looking. My name is Tom Letson. I'm running for the Ohio Supreme Court. I'm currently a member of the Ohio House of Representatives. My district is over in Trumbull County and part of Ashtabula County. It's interesting, currently I have 115,000 constituents, but I'm running for a job with 11.5 million constituents. So far, I've put about 50,000 miles on my vehicle, 48,700 miles on my car since filing with the Secretary of State. I'm termed out. We have term limits in the state of Ohio, so I have served 8 years. I've been in the majority, I've been in the minority, I've been the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, and I've been the ranking minority member of the Ways and Means Committee, trying to keep money in your pockets by opposing or structuring things so that we utilize what we have a little bit better than what has been done before. Currently, what I would like to draw your attention to, since we're not really supposed to talk about issues and we're not supposed to talk about specifics, I am, because I'm a seated member of the House, allowed to tell you what I have voted for, tell you what I have done. But what I really want to talk about is something called an undervote. And all of you here are into public service. I want to continue on with public service by moving from the House to the court. But you wouldn't be here right now today listening to this if you weren't into public service, or if I have students, if part of your grade wasn't dependent upon your being here. Right, students? Okay. But I'm glad the teacher has made that a requirement, because you will be better informed when your parents ask you about what's going on here today. And I mean that very seriously. But the undervote is the drop-off between those offices that were announced at the beginning, governor, secretary of state, attorney general, etc., and the bottom of it. And the bottom of the ballot contains some very important things that are near and dear to you. How many of you picked up one of these buttons on your way in? Or maybe wearing one of these buttons? I see several of them out here. And this is an issue button. And at the bottom of the ballot are issues. Issues are those things that really require your attention because you are voting to make your community better. Right down there with those issues are the non-partisan people, including your courts. The Supreme Court, your common pleas court, your juvenile court, your probate court, those issues are right down there too, along with such things in other elections as township trustees. So I would ask you this time, you think I am, I'm not, and I apologize. But what I would like you to do in order to eliminate the undervote this time is I would like, when you go vote early or vote at the polls, start at the bottom and work your way back to the top. Eliminate that undervote for the very first time. And issues like this will get the full attention it needs. Thank you. I'm Tom Letson, and I've only run over by about 40 seconds. I apologize to you. Thank you.
Are there questions for Mr. Letson?
Yes.
You mentioned you were going to tell us what you had done in the state legislature.
Well,
or do you support?
I am allowed to tell you what I've done. Now that you've asked, I will. I've been a part of more pieces of legislation that have become law than anyone else in my party, and more than 90% of the people that happen to be of the majority party. Among those are such things as revamping the Board of Tax Appeals, reworking the dental board bill, rearranging how marriage and family counselors are accredited and put into the reimbursement matrix. I mean, some very important issues. For my feeling, one of the most important things I've done is on dyslexia and dyslexia awareness and instruction. I happen to be dyslexic, and we have been able to find money so that we can train dyslexia specialists at our education service centers and have them go out into the schools. More than that, she'll be flashing me with my time's up. Yep. She's good. She's good. Other questions? Yes.
Imagine that you're running for 11 million constituents. As a judge, should your main or maybe only constituent be the law?
No. That's a good question. It's a nice question. But no, it is not. It is not. Because that law affects 11.5 million people. And sometimes it only affects 2 people, but most often it is the state. The body of law, it isn't out there separate. It is not some sterile entity that only exists in the ether. It is something that comes home to the people of the state of Ohio every single day in so many incredible ways. So that you have to understand where people are coming from and sometimes the life and struggles that they go through in order to reach whatever action they took that brought that case to you. So even though you have a body of law to work with, it is not the end-all and be-all. It is a part of that case along with the combatants that actually stand in front of it. Great question, though. Thank you. Other questions? You guys are so smart, you have no more questions. You get to shoot at me. I'm not hearing you. I want to thank you all very much. I want to thank the lead. Oh, yes.
Bill Spain, Auburn Township.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned you put almost 48,000 miles on your vehicle.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to ask you, what have you learned on your travels?
Boy, that's it's a loaded question because of the amount of gasoline that goes into it. I've learned that the gasoline prices all over the state vary. That's one thing. I've learned that the least expensive gas at the moment is on the corner of High Street and Livingston in Columbus. I've learned that Ohio is more concerned than all the politicians really want to believe in where their next meal is coming from and how they're going to be educating their children. I've learned that Ohio cares a great deal and is a state that has, when we say the heart of it all, Ohio really has heart. It wants to do the right thing almost all the time. And with a little bit of help from the people that you have here today, we can move that in a direction that will help all those dreams be realized, help the middle class be the middle class that we all grew up with. Thank you for asking. Aspirational, that's what it is. Any others? Well, I want to thank you very much. I want to thank Mr. Hess here. We are familiar with one another from league-type things, from voting things. Please take several copies, give them to your friends.